Hey there, I'm Tactical Knight, and here's the situation. You just came back from an extended hiking trip to the mountains, only to find that something's not quite right. Looks like someone kicked their robot vacuum one too many times, and now the AI is out for blood. Don't worry though, the military should have it all under control soon. But until they do, I'm here to teach you how to survive. Now, one of the most common questions I get is, Tactical Knight, I just got shot and I'm bleeding to death, help! First, you can avoid that entire situation by wearing your trusty military-grade body armor. But let's say you forgot to put on your body armor. Just grab your trauma kit from your survival pack and apply first aid drill number 37. But wait! During your routine check, you notice the expiration date goes off today! Can't use this thing anymore. But not to worry. Head over to your nearest pharmacy and tell the clerk you're looking for one of our Army Elite all-purpose portable trauma kits. They'll provide you with a fresh one. Now that you know how to cure bleeding to death, let's talk about long-term aspects of surviving. There's only so much you can do alone, and working in a squad improves your survival rate dramatically, so buddy up. Once you got some buddies, you'll want a place for them to hang out, so pull out your survival multi-tool and get to gathering some resources. You can find all kinds of useful stuff out there. Ancient people actually built entire towns out of wood instead of Instacrete. Can you believe it? For anything that can't be found in the woods, you're gonna have to venture out into the city. Luckily, a bunch of free estate opened up recently, so lots of goodies free for the taking. Or you could find some fellow survivors and see if they'll trade you for some resources. Watch out for mechs. Unless you got serious firepower, you want to stay out of sight. Stick to concealment and always check those corners. At some point you might say, Tactical Knight, I found this industrial lathe that's gonna go great in my living room, but it weighs 2 tons and I strained my toesies. No problem. Rush hour's been killer since the mechs started roaming the roads. That means tons of vehicles free for the taking. Find yourself a nice flatbed, strap down that lathe, and get rolling. One of the most common questions I get is, Tactical Knight, I just got shot and I'm bleeding to death. Watch where you're going though. Always stick to cleared roads through the terraform zones. Never take a shortcut through the wild zone. There are some nasty critters out there and you don't want them to catch you while you're swapping washer fluid. That's it for today. Tune in next time when I'll teach you how to cook a rock beetle using only a tin can and a multi-tool. Until then, stay safe and keep surviving.
Going medieval, and maybe even stranded alien dawn. That's the best way to describe this Ascent of Ashes. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here. Welcome to our first look at a game that's nowhere near close to being finished in its development, but the developers were very kind enough to send over a kind of early preview copy or code or key to what they've been working on. A game that allows us to build bases, survive, gather, and do a lot of the things that you may have seen in many of the other games I just mentioned. Welcome aboard. Good to see you all here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more of this and other great base building survival games. And thank you very much for, well, smashing the like button and saying hello down below in the comments section. Let's go ahead and jump in and take our first look at what this game has to offer, and of course watch a little bit of the trailer too to see more of what they're working on and what they have in store for hopefully eventually an early access release or perhaps the full version. Let's go. Really, at the moment, there is no tutorial for this game, aside from the developers saying to press F1 for the controls, but it is something that they plan to showcase in the future. But this is our survivors, and we have here a group of, what, 5 people or so, who are going to be gathering a bunch of weapons. Actually, there's just like shotguns lying all around and handguns and stuff, and also a bunch of, well, trees and things to cut down. Now, you can kind of see how the world reminds me a bit of Going Medieval, where, you know, there's like large cliff sides and things that we can build on. And for now, the map is kind of a small, randomly generated map every time that we play. And I have no idea what the hell this is. A ham grazer? I guess a pig that's the size of a cow. I don't know. It must all be story-based. But regardless, let's go ahead and get started. We can assign everybody to work different jobs, things like wood cutting, building, forging, or hauling. And then, of course, we have the ability to send them out on expeditions to go to maybe find supplies at a hotel or maybe a police station, that kind of thing. For now, let's go ahead and get everybody started by gathering a bunch of wood and building a base. So if we take a look here, by the way, we can lay out our base ahead of time, and then people can construct things when they gather the materials for it. So we could throw down a couple of beds to get started over here, as we then maybe build... Actually, this would be a perfect spot for a base up against a cliff, because we'd only have to build 3 walls on the sides that are exposed, and then yeah, plenty of things to store and whatnot. All right, let's go ahead and get everybody working. Let's go ahead and have everybody wood cut. Go, go, go. We can also take direct control of our people from what I've seen. We can give them, like, what you would normally call in these games draft mode, where you can literally click on them and then tell them what to do. So if we needed, if we were under attack, we could click on one of our characters, and then there's a sword and shield or whatnot, and we can tell them to go pick up these guns or baseball bats or whatever it is. Right now, everybody's wood cutting, so that's good, and they should, I guess, keep it in their inventory until we tell them to bring it back to maybe one of these storage boxes. Let's build a big old wooden crate, or maybe a couple, and maybe toss it over here in the corner. I don't know if we can rotate, can we? Well, okay, Q and E rotates our camera. Tab brings us over to, I guess, each of the individuals, and we'll go ahead and build right over now. The music's nice. I like the art style too, you know, the kind of cell shading, quote unquote, you know, kind of thing going on. Not bad. Let's see, what else do we have for floors. We have raw floor wooden floorboard and poured Instacrete? Oh, it's like concrete. Okay, cool. Maybe that's something we can find out in the world. Let's go ahead and start small with our base, though. We'll maybe start with a small room and put everybody in it, and then eventually give everybody their own rooms. This could have different elements of, you know, Rimworld, where people, you know, want to sit down when they eat, or like in Stranded Alien Dawn, they want to have their own room with a 6x6 size, that kind of thing. Oh, there we go. So it looks like a lot of wood is around. They're very quick to cut down trees. That's awesome. All right, what else do we have? We have base defenses, sandbag walls. And I'm assuming there's either going to be a lot more coming to the game soon, or we could possibly research these things and find blueprints out in the world, that kind of thing. All right, let's go ahead and start with 5 beds. 2, 3, 4, 5. That seems fine for now. We could expand the floor a little bit if we need to. But just like that, we can add a little extendo onto it. And what about walls? Structures. We have a wooden wall here, improvised wall 2. And I guess we'll start with something small. Now, I don't see an option for windows, so perhaps after the wall construction is complete, maybe we can tell them to install a wall or a door. We'll have to see how that works. Leave a little opening there for a door. Furnishings? I don't see that. Wooden wall. We'll let them build and see what happens. Actually, was that a gun up there? Looked like a gun. Wow, what are they up to now? Whoa, our people are like glitching out. What are you guys doing? Oh, they're trying to reach the trees that are at the top of the cliff. All right, no longer do you guys need to go cut wood. Let's go ahead and build now, folks. Now they'll grab all the materials for logging, or that they got from logging, and now start using it for construction. Now, I don't know if anybody's got different skills. If we click on them, we can, of course, recruit them with the option that I mentioned before, but we don't have an option to see each individual traits. But I could only imagine that this game will allow you to create your own characters and give them costumes. This is, of course, me just speculating. But we should be able to give our people their own appearances of different, you know, like different backgrounds of their possible life before this. So you could have somebody who's wants construction or perhaps was in the army or whatnot, so they'd have better accuracy with a gun or build faster. Farmer, maybe they'd be more prone to having a temper, that kind of thing. So you get their social dynamics as humans, but also their background for things like, I don't know, being a police officer or something that could help them in the field, or at least here in our survival. Well, it looks like the sun's going down. I actually see a day-night transition. That's good. Let's see. Uh-oh. Laura, you're trapped there, sweetie. Do you have a bed? Or did I only build 4? My bad. My bad. Let's give you a bed. All right, let's go for a bed there. Okay. I can't rotate it. I don't think I can anyway. Oh, someone's getting out of bed. She's taking over right away. Let's see. Time controls, camera controls, combat characters, build. Let's see. Hold left click and drag to adjust rotation. Okay. So then we should be able to do it like this. Cool. Yeah, that'll be fine. And maybe someone else will come along, so let's build an extra bed. Alright, so we got Tanya, Laura, James, Liz, and Michael all living in the houses here. Is she instructed to build? She's in idle combat right now. Idle combat! Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. No. I would like you to do something else. What else we got? Oh, there we go. We can see their stats a little bit. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted to see. Fantastic. Good. Good, good, good. So this is what I was mentioning. Strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, perception, and charisma. Otherwise known as as it says there. Shooting skills. So this would be like our military expert. Visibility, market value. Carried mass. Oh, maybe what she's carrying is market value? Aim accuracy. I'm not sure what all that could be for. We do have their stats here. Food, sleep, social, which might be disabled for the time being. Morale, entertainment, comfort, and beauty. Oh, yeah, they want to take care of themselves and feel good. Storage, worn apparel. Yeah, we can change their clothing and also see what their carry capacity are, for example. All right, let's go ahead and speed up time. I think I drafted this character somehow. There she goes. Not sure what I did, but she's going to work now. And getting some sleep. Good. Alright. The end of day 1 for our people. What do we have here? Alpha Bravo, Charlie Delta, planning. Oh, is this for some sort of a, like when we get attacked, like base defense type thing? Okay. Well, anyway, my plan for our house is to basically build a house and then build a wall around that. And again, I don't see any sort of gates or doors or windows at the moment, but there could be an option to do that shortly, so we'll see. And while they're sleeping, we could continue to build structures. Let's build an improvised wall, just to make things interesting. And as it says there, there's Instacrete, so as we go out on expeditions, perhaps there's a way to find those materials. Make that door 3 wide. There we go. And if we build something we don't want to build, how do we get rid of it? Delete, maybe? Let's see, how do we delete something? Right mouse to cancel. Well, that's already been built, so maybe we'll let them build it and then we'll figure it out later. Alright, it's 2 a.m. I don't know why it shows a sun. Maybe that means 2 a.m. and there's maybe a p.m. system. So the next thing we could do is forge. I see a lot of berries around. We might be able to hunt too with the big O pigs. There might even be a way to make a stairwell up to the top here. Again, it might be something we have to research, but I don't see any sort of workbenches, and the only defenses I see at the moment are really just sandbag walls. So if we ever get attacked, all these guns here, we have a hunting rifle, hunting shotgun. We have an assault rifle there. I thought that was like some sort of a baseball bat. And another hunting shotgun. So we have quite a bit of good weapons for our people, and we'll have to see how it is to go out on an expedition as soon as it's morning here. Yeah, about 7 a.m. Everybody should be waking up shortly. Good music, too. Oh, yeah. I like that. Now, there's the potential for pretty much anything in this game that you've seen before. Farming, multi-layered defenses, possibly allying or being sent out on, as we see here, expeditions to go scavenge, but perhaps the ability to raid other players' bases, or maybe not players, but NPCs. I'm not sure if this would be the type of game that would perform well in PvP, as it just kind of is like, man, that'd be interesting, though, to see a top-down version of Rust, but it plays like Rimworld. But of course, there's all sorts of creatures that you saw in the tutorial, and if you, during the trailer. And if you skip to this part of the video, make sure you jump all the way back to the beginning to see all the things that you missed on some of the advanced base building and other things that the developers will have in store, as this is just simply a work-in-progress build and kind of showcasing things that are going on. Well, hopefully, you know, this is where they're at now, and be able to go further past this in the future would be a great thing for them. Everybody's still sleeping. It's noon. Still sleeping. Jeez. Teenagers. I didn't realize this was like a high school or something. We could build a sandbag wall, I suppose, outside the base. That would look interesting. Something like that should do well. Okay, I can't get that one quite right, but we'll toy with that corner. All right, what else do we got? We got some storage down, some defenses, furnishings. There we go. We have a large table, end table, coffee table. I think eventually we, well, if we had the option to build a second story, which I don't think we do at the moment, I would certainly put all the beds on the second floor and then some basic storage and some other things on the first floor, like, for example, the table and chairs. Wooden chairs, padded chairs, fancy. Wow. Did our people just sleep for like a whole 24 hours? Freaking vampires. They're gonna wake up at night. Are they? There's lots to build, people. Alright, let's go ahead and have Michael on normal, forage, and hauling. We'll put 4 people on building because that's very important. Then foraging. Now I'm hoping all these trees that we saw before will grow back. We're going into yet another night? You gotta be kidding me. Are people dead? Where do we see, like, their rest? Well, alright, to be fair, these beds kind of suck. But it shouldn't be like a 24-hour sleep. I guess the better bed is just the, quote, double bed, but that takes a lot of cloth. I'm not sure if we can get that just yet. Improvised bed made from cut logs and leaves, better than sleeping on the ground, but not by much. Yeah. Alright, we're going into another morning. James, how you doing, buddy? Shooting skills. Nice. Does that say... Oh, 89. I thought it said 69. I was going to say nice. Nice. Let's see. Recoil control. Oh, a lot of stats about their shooting ability. I think they're going to sleep until fully rested. I like how the glow of the... It seems like the glow of the base is actually, like, visible from off-map. Like... It looks like the actual blueprint mode is providing a source of light. Imagine that. Like saying that you plan to do something in your house, like, I don't know, plant a tree or something in the backyard, and then it's actually providing light in the backyard. And there's like the little hologram there. Great to do in games like Green Hell, for example, to put like a, you know, a structure down that you plan to build so you can see your base from far away. You can see it miles away. Miles away. Alright, folks, going into another day. Hello, good morning. What is this? Conditions? I don't know. Apparently they're very uncomfortable, though. They're not eating food. They're not hungry. This red bar, I could only imagine, means that they're completely fed. And this means that they don't have a gun, but it will show what they have equipped. So there must be a way to equip. Let's go ahead and see if we can get them up now. Oh, I think I think I crashed the game. Is it crashing? Hello? Uh-oh. I don't know what to say, but yeah, to be honest, for a free product that the developers provided that's not yet being sold, can't really complain because they make it abundantly clear that this is a project they're working on. Alright, well, now we have a whole new group of people. I guess our other ones died. Not died, but like they were lost in sleep forever. Let's check this out. We got a gas station, motel, and a police station, highway patrol station. Let's try the, let's try the abandoned farmhouse and send everybody. Now wait a minute. Before we send everyone, though, let's go ahead and give everybody a weapon. So we have Francine. If we can get her the shotgun. Is there a way to pick up a weapon? Got to be a way to equip a weapon. Let's see. Combat controls. Left mouse to select a survivor. Right mouse on a weapon to collect it. Equip it, rather. Use action bar or T to toggle combat mode on or off. Well, I'm right-clicking on the gun. Maybe Francine doesn't have enough combat skill? Nah, to hell with it. Let's send everybody without weapons. That's probably a good idea. Totally good idea. Oh, cool. Wait, what? Oh, these are the people who should be defending this place. Okay. So we can build our own base and then go raid other bases. That's actually really cool. So as we go on a quote-unquote expedition, we load into a new part of the map, and then we can fight others. Now, we went here without guns, which is hilarious. So let's see what we can do. Can we send anybody in? Okay, I'm just going to... Oh, can we send the group in? Oh, it's tedious to command only one at a time. That's right, you're not allowed to shoot me, thanks. Appreciate that, bye. Okay, into the house we go. Let's raid the fridge. So what's the purpose of coming into these houses? Can we loot? They're shooting their own person, by the way. Anyway. I get the concept, though. And that's very cool that we can go to actual points of interest that are still around, like farmhouses, gas stations, and whatever, and actually, like, raid them. Let's try this again with a full group that actually can pick up their weapons and see the combat. This seems really interesting, actually. Of the build, it seems like some of the characters are able to pick up weapons, but others aren't. So, just to kind of show what's going on here, I'm going to try to equip a weapon here with Min Jun. I'm going to move over here. So they're in recruit mode. Yeah, seems like they either can't pick up that weapon due to some sort of limitation, maybe with their rank or skill. Not sure, but we have a hunting rifle and an assault rifle here, and they can't pick up that. But we got a couple of characters ready to go with guns, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I could totally see what they're going for, the ability to pick a character and then equip them with perhaps melee weapons too, or ranged weapons, like perhaps, oh, there we go. Perhaps we can get them a, I don't know, maybe like a stealth weapon, like a bow and arrow or a crossbow or something, or perhaps even like grenades, something to throw and explode. Be kind of cool too. It seems like it's just a little finicky, but that's fine. We'll go with the characters and see how it goes. So let's go on our expedition. We've seen the roadside, or rather the farmhouse. Let's go to like the, oh hell, let's go to the patrol station and send everybody. and see how it all goes. So let's bring everybody in. Somebody's name is Red Rocket. Okay, must be some random ass names for sure. Oh, I can already hear people shooting. I think they just T-pose till they get a little closer and we can actually see them visually. Yeah. So will our characters engage automatically? Looks like they are. Okay, she's down. Awesome. Okay, wow. Close range, one and done with the shotgun. Wow. Obviously, this must be the hardest place to assault in the game. I'm assuming our people might be able to get tactical armor or, you know, better weapons than what we got in the future. Everybody's basically down. But yeah, it looks like all the buildings at least are a single story, you know, office, or maybe in terms of the hotel, maybe it'll be a longer building. But the real key is what is inside these, you know, these cabinets and whatnot. So it could be definitely rifles in here, a stove that somebody left on. It could be food in the fridge. Obviously, with it being a police station, there could be more than just guns here, but also possibly body armor or equipment, radars. It looks like they've got, you know, surveillance equipment here, maybe cameras or possibly monitors or whatnot. So it seems rather cool. Again, it's a stationary structure in the middle of a map, but I would really appreciate this if there was a possibility to build our own base in a map that was slightly larger than this, kind of like how it is at the beginning of Going Medieval. But then we have the option to go to houses or something like that in towns. Like if we go to a house to create an outpost, it would almost play like having a separate base, like Rimworld within Project Zomboid, if it went that route. If there was lots of buildings for us to explore and we could go into a city and go through it and check different areas in the city, that'd be rather cool. Cooler than everybody dying to death. That cool. We are now at the hotel, and you can see like the I don't know, the check-in or lobby. I don't know why there's a table in there, but you know, it's post-apocalyptic, so maybe it was like a meeting area or something, and then all the troops can hang out here. Certainly a lot of promise to this game, and also a lot of jank, and again, a version of the game that's really not even complete. You know, people are loading in on top of each other when they come into the map. But the promise for having people having weapons, and of course there is the ability to even tell our people to like crouch during combat and whatnot. The ability to set up ambushes and take equipment or whatnot from enemy bases could be really cool. And I would love to see this become a very detailed, you know, kind of 3D-ish Rimworld, but also with elements of Project Zomboid of being able to go into towns rather than just these individual areas, and then being able to loot, or even if it were just maybe areas within a town, you know, to go to the police station, military base, or whatnot, and have it surrounded by a few other things would be quite interesting as well. The ability to go in and set up an ambush, lure the enemy out, kill them, ambush them, and maybe take over their base too. There's a lot of potential for something like this, and I'd like to see how differently it goes. And yeah, Ascent of Ashes. It'll be interesting. Post-apocalyptic base building. I need to see multiple floors. I'd like to see co-op. I want to see bigger maps. There's a lot of things I want to see, but yeah, I mean, at least there's some promise here of yet another good base builder, and a game that is a post-apocalyptic survival game rather than it being like a kind of a, what would you call it, post-apocalyptic event, whatever you call it, whenever a spaceship crashes onto a planet, I guess, a crash landing, like you know how it is in Stranded, Alien Dawn, or Rimworld. Be kind of cool to see what it's like with all the robots and the worms and other things that they have planned for this game. A lot of big promise, or at least a lot of things that they want to have happen in the little trailer. We'll see if it translates to a full game. All right, that's it for our time here today. Let me know what you think of the game down below in the comments section. Obviously, no brainer with it being completely super early, and also, of course, wildly incomplete. But let me know what features you want to see, what you think, and yeah, I'll see you all next time. That's about all for now, I guess. That's a bit of a taste of a little bit of a morsel of the game. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.
Camby asks, what's the best homemade recipe you have for a nice dinner? An excellent question. Many people focus so much on wilderness survival, they completely neglect their urban survival skills. Let's talk about it. Here's the scenario. Your extended family is coming over for this year's Neo Christmas dinner, and you're in charge of providing food. Food is one of the pillars of surviving. A good meal will provide you vital nutrients, while a bad meal will leave you on low energy and your family with a dangerously low opinion of your culinary skills. The first step is to provide a clean table free of contaminants. You don't want celebrations to be cut short by a collective case of food poisoning, and rock beetles like this one are a serious health code violation. Next, get out your restaurant-grade nutrient autoprocessor. Fill it up with some prime nutrient solution, set the dial to medium rare, and there's your meal all ready to go. Nada-Ima asks, "Good game, please." You got it! Graf asks, what can we do with prisoners we haul back to our settlements? How will we store them and how can we treat them? A very important question. Should you come across an enemy combatant who surrendered or is disabled, you have a legal obligation to provide them with any medical aid you can. Once that's done, you may sternly interrogate them, but as prisoners of war, they are legally protected from torture, degrading, or inhumane treatment. So make sure you transfer them to the appropriate POW facility, where they'll be interned according to the laws of war until the conflict is over. Violating their rights can get you court-martialed, and there's no surviving that one. William asks, how do you make a really good Reuben sandwich? Another excellent question. Nutrient processors are great, but what if yours has a sub-AI core and is now trying to end humanity? In that case, you'll need to make do with only your wits and whatever you can find in the wild. The first component of a good sandwich is meat, meaning we'll need to snare something. Find yourself a nice, bendy sapling and tie it to a snare like so. Looks like we caught ourselves a nice, ripe loaf of corned beef. Next, we'll need some seasoning. You can twist a pepper root like this and the bark will chip off to provide some nice flavor. A lesser-known fact about pepper roots is that it's not just good for pepper. Cutting it open like this will allow the sap to come out and react with atmospheric oxygen to produce cheese. Isn't nature amazing? Lastly, we need some bread. Fortunately, bread shrubs are in bloom this season. All we need to do is find one and pick ourselves a nice, ripe loaf. All that's left is to assemble our ingredients and roast them over a campfire until nice and toasty. Enjoy! Frederick asks, how was work progress? Any substantial problems? Progress has been great. Thanks for asking. Crimson asks, how would the military react to seeing you use their fallen friends' equipment? I'm glad you asked. There's a common misconception that looting military equipment from dead troopers is fine. Colonial Legal Code Section 392 clearly states such equipment remains government property unless you fill out a Form 84B to request an official looting license. Without a license, you need to return any material you find to your nearest military installation. But Tactical Knight, I hear you say. My local army base is in lockdown due to the Mechanoid War. How am I supposed to return this tank I found on my evening walk last night? No problem. If you recall Season 23, Episode 592, I explained how to build a fully functional trebuchet using only a screwdriver and your shoelaces. Simply load that tank into your trebuchet, point it at the base from a safe distance, and deliver away! That's all our questions for today. Tune in next time when I'll teach you how to survive a nuclear blast using nothing but a fridge magnet and a piece of styrofoam. Until then, stay safe and keep surviving.